You know what?
Well, that damn clip ain't gonna make nobody watch the show.
They already watching the
What
show.
the hell?
They already watching this show. The clip is from Empire. Our guest is family. Like, he has to come back. Tracy always mentions who can be special guest co-host when Sway's traveling a lot.
Y'all
and
pick me.
obviously, yeah.
Please.
Yeah, come to hang out with us for 4 hours.
Because, you know, Sway says he cut off his locks. He done changed.
Oh, talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? He
Talk
don't be
about
showing up to work.
Talk about it. He
What's
act
up,
funny
y'all?
when he see you.
He be acting mad funny. No, I'm just joking.
Oh,
I'm
you
just
money?
joking. I'm just joking. Yeah, he know he owe me money. Like, that goes without saying.
Family is here in the building. Our next special guest co-host, Jussie Smollett, is here, baby.
What's up, y'all? So excited. So excited.
Yes, Empire Season 5. That
Let's
was the
go.
clip. Airing tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It is
you
airing
can't.
tonight.
Do you not remember? Do you not watch? Like, what is it now that you have a hit show? And I'm not saying this because you acting fancy or anything, but you have a hit show and you're busy, you're running around. Is the excitement different when the show is on air now at Season 5? It's like, oh, I'll catch it later. Or, oh, they showed that? Did they cut that part out? How is it now this far into the season?
I actually feel more invested and integrated into the show now than I felt in the beginning.
Explain that.
Because in the beginning, I felt like I was new to the show, and the show was new. So, and also, like, even when the show first aired, not to get deep, but when the show first aired, the day that the show first aired, my father passed away that day.
Wow.
So I was like, I didn't really recognize. It was kind of like a blur, to be honest with you. I was very grounded in reality and family and everything like that, but it didn't hit me. And now it's a thing of, and then most of the season was done filming before we even aired.
Okay.
So it kind of, now I'm directing. Now I feel more invested in the storylines again. You know what I'm saying? The last couple seasons, I might have not really been as invested in the storylines. But this season specifically, last season and this season, the last part of last season, I directed my first episode. This season, I directed an episode. So I feel much more invested in this and in this storyline that we're doing with Jamal's character and everything like that. I just feel, I'm excited. I still watch it every single week. I still tweet, unless I'm like working, you know what I'm saying? Like working on the show. But I always find a way to, you know, get on. I'm genuinely a fan of the show. Like, I get mad at storylines that I feel like are stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like a real fan.
Right.
I get excited when the storylines are dope. Like, I'll watch the show. I can't tweet it out loud, but I'll watch the show. I'll be like, oh, man, that wasn't all that. That wasn't a great episode.
Right,
Or I'll
right.
be like, yo, that shit was
Yeah,
popping.
yeah.
I get
Right.
excited. Like, you know, it's my life. Right
We've
now.
been having this conversation, all of us, you know, as a team here, Sway in the Morning, on and off mic, about personal things that are happening in our lives and still having to perform at work. And you mentioned it, the passing of your father. And when you lose a parent and you still have to work, for all the citizens that's out there listening now, how did you cope and how did you deal with that? For me, I still say I didn't handle my situation the best way. My mom passed 2 years ago. I took a week off and I came to work because the silence at home was driving me insane.
Right.
And I don't know if that makes sense to a lot of people, but for me, I came back to work. Not sure that was the best thing to do. But how did you deal with it as a now name and face recognition all over again? How did you move forward?
I mean, and it's funny because, like, Heather, you and I just talked about this like a week ago. We were on the phone and we were talking about this. My father passed on a Wednesday. I was back to work on that Monday. And I don't know. I mean, I just feel like when people say, you know, how do you deal with that, or have you dealt with the passing of a parent, or have you dealt with the passing of a loved one? I don't think that you deal with it. You just, it's your reality now. So it's kind of like you have no choice. I'm not dead. So it's I gotta live. I have to, and there is that confusion. You know what I'm saying? That confusion of, I'm so sad, but I should be happy. I'm so blessed and grateful for all of this, but I shouldn't be basking in the happiness of this because I should be sad about this. It's a very much this emotional confusion that comes on, and that's when you dive into family. That's when you dive into your life and your love. And when I say family, I don't just mean your blood family, but that's when you dive into, you know, yourself and know that it's okay to, I don't know, have those moments. Or, I mean, I still feel like we don't fully understand death,
right?
Because we're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we were a fetus in the womb, we didn't understand what it was to be out here doing what we do.
Right.
When we were children, we didn't understand what it was to be an adult because we weren't there yet. So it's all about levels. For me, work helps, and I don't know if that's healthy. I'm not a therapist.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's
you're
healthy.
just
but
sharing because I'm sure you're helping someone right now listening.
yeah, I just feel like we talking about stuff or not. I just think that everybody's journey is different, and I think that that's what it is. Also, when you realize that no one's journey is the same,
Right.
and you realize that there is no way to I can't tell you how to mourn, and you can't tell me how to mourn. I might be laughing an hour later, but that doesn't mean that I'm not mourning. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that everybody has to do it in their own way, and that's kind of the way it is for life in general. But for me, work helps. Work helps because not to take my mind off of it, but to put that energy into something else. And I don't know if it's work, but I would say creating helps. That's what it is. It's not work. It's creating. It's the creation phase that helps putting all of that loss and love into something worthwhile.
Makes so much sense. And speaking of creating, Jesse's here to talk about the Trevor Project. We're going to talk about that up next. But citizens, he's here. You want to talk to him? You have any questions? He's an open book for us. This is my play cousin. You talk about family. I love him to pieces, man. So he's here.
I love you too.
Talk. 888-742-3345. Sway in the morning. Shade 45. One of my favorite songs. Some of my music. If you don't have his album, you're bugging. That's all I gotta say. It's just,
Tell him, B.
you gotta go
Tell
hood.
him.
You're bugging. Amazing. Tracy, remember that night when he had his release party and he sang this and we were just like hanging over that balcony just like, oh my gosh.
#1 groupies.
Yeah.
Also
Y'all
family
have my
members,
back.
but
Y'all have my back.
how could I ever forget that?
Y'all
It was
have my back.
beautiful,
High moment.
beautiful, beautiful. Jussie Smollett is here hanging out with us. We talked about Empire. We got to talk about the Black AIDS Institute. But first, I got to get to these calls.
Yeah.
888-742-3345. Nina calling from the town. Talk about Oaktown. What up, Nina?
Hey, I'm going through the tunnel, so I'm about to be out if you can't hear me too well.
Well, say your piece. You never know how much you're going to hear. So say your piece. Say good morning to Jesse.
Hey, Nina.
So, Jesse, I love you so much. Your voice is like church. It is.
Oh, I love you. Thank you. Thank you
I
so much.
I am not playing. I look forward to every Wednesday. I listen to your music all the time, and I just had to tell you, I just love you so much.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
See,
Thank
Nina,
so
you made it
much.
through that tunnel. You're a citizen of Sway in the morning. I got Jennifer on the line from Cali. Thank y'all so much for waking up early with us,
Right.
man. Jennifer, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're doing good. Hanging in there, Jennifer. What's going on? Say what's up to Jesse this morning.
Hello,
Hey,
Jennifer.
hey, hey, hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just want to tell you that we are huge fans. We love you, and we watch you religiously every Thursday. We watch you. We record the show all the time.
Do you? So you record it and you watch it on
there you
Thursday?
go.
Got
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Love you, Jennifer.
We're working parents over here.
I
Working
hear you,
parents.
boo. Get that bag. Take care of them children.
That's what you wanted to say? That's what you wanted to
I
say?
love you. Thank you so much for that.
No, but what we really wanted to ask was, so I have me and my siblings in the car. We're actually picking up my brother, who is being released from prison. He was incarcerated for about 9-10 years.
Wow, bless y'all.
Yeah, so we're picking him up right now. Super excited about it. But we wanted to see if you had any advice for us because we lost our mother 3 years ago. Maybe you could help us because he hasn't been able to face that because he was incarcerated the
Right.
time we lost our mom.
Oof, that's heavy. First of all, bless y'all. This is I mean, I can't offer any, like professional advice, but what I can say is like, y'all got to draw close. Y'all got to, how many siblings are there?
It's a total of 5 of us.
Oh my God. So there's 6 of us. So that's the time right there where y'all have got to draw close. And you probably have to understand more than anything the fact that he wasn't able to be there and the possible, not just sadness, but also the possible guilt that would come with that. So this is the time, I would say, like, as a family, as siblings, brothers and sisters, this is the great thing about having siblings, either blood or not, is the fact that siblings have a bond that people just don't understand. Siblings have a bond that even our parents don't understand. They can understand the bond between their siblings, but even sometimes your parents don't understand because that's not their situation. Our bond between siblings, that's why I always cry when I see siblings that don't get along, because it's like these people are a part of us, whether they're blood or not. Siblings, having siblings is such a blessing. So I would say that this is the time for y'all to pull together and be honest and be okay with talking about what happened and seeing how y'all feel. I mean, that's the best I can say, because that's what we do. We talk a lot in my family.
Thank you, Jennifer, and good luck with your situation.
Yeah, good luck, man.
God bless you and your siblings.
And
as
all the
said.
best to all of y'all. And to
y'all
him
drive
getting
safe too. All right, you citizens of Sway in the Morning. The Black AIDS Institute. I want to spend some time talking about that. Your involvement. How can people be involved? Like, fill us in. Just fill us in.
Well, Phil Wilson is here, who is my mentor since I was 15 years
Hi,
old.
Phil Wilson.
And Phil is the executive director of the Black AIDS Institute. And this year, on December 1st, on World AIDS Day, we're doing the Heroes in the Struggle Gala. And last year, we do it every year. This is what number is this? This is the 18th.
Wow.
And last year we honored Taraji, and we honored Laverne Cox and Alfred Woodard and Vanessa Williams, just among so amazing artists, but also Gina Brown and Gina Belafonte, incredible activists. You know what I'm saying? And with the storyline that we're doing on Empire, it's nothing new for me to be talking about HIV/AIDS. This is the work that I was doing before anybody knew what I was, who I was, before I was able to sit, with my family on Sway in the Morning and talk about what's important to me. But we're not done. We're not done yet. And I think that there's so much, I keep saying this, there's so damn much in the world to be concerned about, particularly for people of color. You know what I'm saying? From mass incarceration to police brutality, racial profiling. We have to multitask. You know what I'm saying? That's what we've always done. HIV and AIDS, we're not done. We're not completed. And just because you take a couple steps forward does not mean you're going to continue to take steps backward if you do not acknowledge the fact that this is still a fight. This is something that we still got to talk about, still got to educate people. This is not just for the people who are infected, but it's also about make sure that you're informing people that are affected.
I was going to ask you, is there still a misconception about AIDS and HIV? Is there still, or maybe there's just comfort level now because we have so much medicine and so much access and we can just go to the doctor or you can get swabbed and everything is done. Are we comfortable now with like not talking about it anymore in a different way? Before it was like taboo. Now it's just like we don't even say shit about anything. People are like,
people are like, oh, that's still a thing?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still losing friends for this. And a large part of that is denial. A large part of that is the idea of not even getting tested. Phil said something today. We did the Dr. Oz show, and he said something really true. He said, he said that a lot of times people are getting diagnosis of being positive and then getting a diagnosis of having full-blown AIDS that quickly because they have not known that they were living with the virus to begin with. So the virus, without being on treatment, the virus then turns into full-blown AIDS. And then these people, I literally, genuinely, I'm still losing people from this. This is almost 2019. This should not still be a thing. I think that all too often we think that, it's a gay situation. It's for the LGBTQ community only. And we're forgetting about the large amounts of women, particularly African-American women that are being infected every single day. I think that we're not talking about PrEP. We think that PrEP is something, again, for gay men, and it's not. It's for anybody who is negative so that they can stay that way. There's all of these things and all of these options, but if we don't talk about it, then people will not know and they will be misinformed.
And then we're not talking either to, I don't know if home health care is the right word, but family members who then become responsible for helping to take care of their family members who become infected with AIDS and HIV. It's hard. It happened to me with very close family members and then with very close friends, watching them struggle to the point where you're helping them change underwear because they can't even control bowel movement anymore and just different things. It is hard, and there's no one to talk to as a family member. Like, and you have to be strong because this person is literally breaking down. There's no one to talk to it.
Plus, because here's the thing also, in 2019, we don't have to have it get to that point. We really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why it's so important to talk any chance that we get about self-care, about you know what I'm saying? About taking care of yourself, about being okay with knowing what you're dealing with so that we can act accordingly. Whatever you decide. I always say, I'm just like, look, if you have cancer, you can decide if you want to go the natural way. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to go through, you know, all chemo and everything like that, that is your choice. But you should actually at least know what you're dealing with so that you can act accordingly. And it's the same thing with anything. HIV, it's the same thing with any STI. It's the same thing. You should know what you're dealing with.
Can people donate? Is this private? How does it work for people listening now? I mean, so many citizens to the Black AIDS Institute. How can we get involved? How can we support?
You definitely can go to blackaids.org.
Okay.
And you can support, you can donate, you can, you know, y'all can come out if y'all are there on December 1st, come out to the gala at the African American Museum in Los Angeles. So far, we're honoring Gabourey Sidibe, Gabby.
Beautiful.
We're honoring Lettucey, honoring Billy Porter, some really great Gabriel Maldonado, who's an incredible AIDS activist, amongst others. And the thing is that I'm trying to raise at least $300,000. That's real. It doesn't sound like a lot, or maybe it sounds like a whole lot, but it's not that much when you think about it. But I'm trying to raise $300,000 to $500,000. I'm really trying to raise like $30 billion. But we're going to start it there.
Right.
And for me, it's just a thing of the amount of, I don't think people realize how every single thing trickles down and affects the next, how every single vote that we cast, every single person that's in office, you know what I'm saying? The amount of funding that has been cut because of the administration, the amount of, you know, healthcare that is being cut. This is not a joke. You know what I'm saying? And this is more than personal opinion. This is more than any of that. We're talking fact here. So we're talking actual numbers, actual funds being cut. And the support is not there for specifically for organizations like the Black AIDS Institute that automatically, by calling yourself the Black AIDS Institute, you are automatically turning yourself smaller, and you're giving yourself a harder time because people may turn away. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a thing of, it's not for anyone else, but it's the same thing as if we're talking about a breast cancer organization. You know what I'm saying? We're focusing on communities that are actually completely forgotten about. You know what I'm saying?
We got David on the line from Hawaii. David, good morning. How you doing?
Hey, David. Good morning. I'm doing good, and I'm getting better. Blessed over here. Thank you so
Amen.
much.
What's going on? What do you want to say?
I just want to thank y'all for y'all being so solution oriented and positive, and being the big brothers and sisters we need out here, and sharing this message of doing good and getting better and doing the good we know how to do. That's all. Thank you so much.
No,
that's what's up.
For real, David. Thank you for your call. You're a citizen of Sway in the morning. That's the thing. It's the Black Institute.org. How again?
It's blackaids.org.
Blackaids.org, citizens. Make sure you go log on to this. Make sure you donate. Sometimes you feel like I can't give enough. I can't do enough. You'd be surprised. $5, $25, $50. Just as Jussie said, start somewhere and just give. All of us. None of us are immune to it. All of us have family members, friends, someone who has dealt with this. And I'm telling you, it happened to me twice, and I just could not believe it. My family, my friends, big and strong men, unfortunately, and watch them break down in denial to some degree, not knowing what was going on with their body, not knowing what was happening. And you just think, oh, they just have a cold, or they just have, and one thing turns to the next, too embarrassed to go to the hospital. Or everything that you mentioned. It's so crazy.
But it's because of that stigma, and it's because of the boxes and the labels that people want to put on it that people are afraid. You know what I'm saying? Of the fact that you know what I'm saying? When it's just cast away as someone else's problem, someone else's disease, someone else's issue, well then guess what? It takes the responsibility off of us who don't think that it affects us.
Facts.
Y'all make sure y'all follow Jussie on social media, Twitter and IG, Jussie Smollett, JUSSIE SMOLLET. double T. Make sure
Come
you
on,
do that.
Speller.
Speller's right
Come
here.
on, Aquila and the B.
Thank God for DB that got it right here, for the real B who got it right here, got it all spelled out. Tonight, Empire, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. Some of my music is the album. Go get it. I'm telling y'all, that's that Thanksgiving cook your meal music right
That's
there.
right.
Get it for the holidays.
I love you.
It'll
I
be
love
right.
y'all.
I love you too.
Sway, feel better, brother.